All right, let's ask you this. Anybody find a job in the last couple of months because they know that the economy's coming back?
Good.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
I mean, I just don't get
Well,
the.
you know, the CBO came out with numbers last week, and they said that in the last 3 years, gasoline's went up 83%, milk has went up 23%, and there was a whole stack of numbers. I don't remember the percentages of on all the different. Beef went up, close to 30%. Now, if people aren't working and people aren't getting raises at work, so they're really making less today than what they made 3, 4 years ago, even working. How do you take these new price increases?
Here's something I want to talk about just for a second about jobs with that pipeline that they don't want to build right now. I've never worked for a union, never been associated with the union. But how come you don't hear the unions complaining, vocally, just roaring, complaining at the White House why they're doing what they're doing about that Keystone Pipeline? I mean, if it's going to create the number of jobs that it says it will, besides all the ancillary jobs, why isn't the unions voicing their opinions and saying, hey, we need these jobs. These are good, well-paying jobs. You don't hear them saying anything. I don't understand why.
Why do you think it is?
Because they want his support, and I think that's a bunch of crap. They're not looking out for their union members if they're doing something like that. Their union members are the ones that are out of work.
You know,
that's sad.
They came out last week and they said there's right now, 5 million miles of pipeline, as that pipeline is, that have never had a leak in our country. What's 50,000 more feet of pipeline, or whatever the number is that this Keystone Pipeline is going to be? How's it going to change things as far as potential harm to the environment?
He's Don Heckwein. He's Steven Searing there with First Senior Financial. If you want them to look at your portfolio, especially if you're a veteran, you can take a call to them at 800-835-1541. But right now we're talking about the unemployment numbers that came out on Friday. They're at 8.3%. That's the lowest as it's been in a long time. And we're trying to figure out, anybody out there been unemployed for a significant period of time? We'd love to hear from you now. Or if you know people that have been unemployed for a significant period of time, what it's like for you, or what it's like for those that you know. 219-845-1100. Dan, what's going on?
Hey, 7 years for me. You know what it is? We're coming out of no ideas. I mean, we had the car, the computer. We got no big invention to put a couple million people to work. That's where I'm coming from.
You've been off for 7 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you still applying places?
I'm on a fixed income right now. You know, I have to get a job that pays over $10 an hour now because I'm making under $9. I'm on a fixed income, so it's hard. But you know, I gotta live with other people just to pay the bills, to have a place to live. Without the other person here, I'd be out in the street somewhere.
So let me ask you this: are you even counted in these numbers?
Probably,
do you think?
Probably not. But we gotta find a new invention to put us on another road. You know, the computer was there. Now there's got to be something coming along. There's got to have something to put a couple million people to work.
All right, man. Thanks a lot,
Good
Dan.
point.
219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. What's up?
Good morning, Jim, and your two guests. And that I just heard one of the two guests just said that X amount of miles or feet of pipeline in so many years and no leaks. What about the VP leak at 175th and White Oak, and that leaked, and the one from Griffith up into Michigan that got into the Kalamazoo Creek that runs into the Kalamazoo River? There's two right here locally.
I did not say there's never been a leak. I said there's 5 million miles of pipeline that has not leaked. I didn't say that 5 million was the total amount.
Okay.
So I know there has been leaks, but there are a lot of miles of pipeline. There are no leaks, so that they can work on these excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. They can put this pipeline in safely.
Yes, but the main obstacle that I get from public television coverage, supposed to be the most non-biased
That's a joke.
reporting, okay, is that it crosses major aquifer in the Midwest out there, across the states and so forth. What's your comment on that potential?
Do we want the jobs or we don't want the jobs? It's just like the wild the animals up in the Arctic. I mean, we got to deal with it. I mean, all right, there's an aquifer there. We go around the aquifer, whatever. But I mean, those are. I just disagree with that thinking like that. Everybody wants the ecology to be clean. I understand that, but you got to look at jobs at the bottom end, my friend.
Well, I do, and I've lived here in the region, and we've had natural gas and gasoline and oil pipelines and so forth, and that all of our lives, and that and I'm 76 years old, and lived in Central Hammond and East Chicago, so I can remember when you could smell whiting, and that there's been definitely improvements. But, for the sake of whatever jobs for the next 10 years now and 20 years down the road, millions of people are cut off from fresh water supply. And that, do you know anybody that lives in Denver and you can't even burn your fireplace in your home because of the pollution? You think in Mile High City that they'd be above all that for the atmosphere, but they have a fireplace ban. I know two individuals that live out there that can't use their fireplace in their home for that reason. There are other things, if you know people that live around the country and that deal with these ecology problems and stuff like that. You ever talk to anybody that's been up in Alaska and actually visually seen that atrocity that they've stuck across the Arctic?
There are.
All right, good comments. Thanks a lot.
There are a lot of people that have had black lung from working in coal mines too, but what has the coal mines done for this country from the beginning of time? They've used it as a fuel, and it's been a necessary thing. So there are always losses in everything that we do.